You know, we all think we know Norse mythology. The thunder, the trickery, the huge epic battles. But what if I told you we've only been hearing half the story? Today, we're diving into a book that, I have to say, genuinely moved me. It's called Freya Forever by Mike Mainland, and it pulls back the curtain on the forgotten and, you could argue, the truly powerful half of the Norse cosmos, right? We hear the names Odin, Thor, Loki all the time. They echo through the centuries. But this book kicks off with this really powerful question. Were they the only ones pulling the strings? Who really held the keys to creation, to fate, to life and death itself? It really makes you stop and think.
And this is where Mainland's book just hooks you right from the start. He writes, for centuries, the focus has fallen on the male gods, yet hidden within are the goddesses, the divine feminine figures who are the heart of creation. And listen, this isn't just about adding a few new names to the list. It's about uncovering a totally different and, frankly, a much more complete and powerful version of the myths we thought we knew.
So the book's entire mission really is one of reclamation. It's about restoring a lost balance to these incredible stories. Okay, so check this out. It's kind of like this. On one hand, you have the familiar story, right? A world of war, thunder, big deeds, all dominated by the male gods. But the reclaimed story that Mainland presents, well, that's a cosmos where the goddesses of love and death and magic and fate are the actual engine of creation. It's not just a minor tweak, it's a fundamental shift from a world of brute force to one of intricate, deep, powerful balance. And right at the very heart of this reclamation is Freya herself. Mainland paints this picture of her not as some simple goddess of beauty, but as this breathtaking, complex figure of paradoxes. She embodies the most profound, and sometimes totally contradictory, forces of existence. Think about this. She is all at once the goddess of love, fertility, and just raw passion. But at the same time, she is a fierce warrior goddess who rides into battle and actually claims half of all fallen heroes for her own hall. And maybe the most important part? She is the unparalleled mistress of cedar. This is the cosmic magic of weaving fate, a power so immense she herself taught it to Odin. This isn't just a goddess. This is a true force of nature. And Mainland just brings her to life with such vivid detail, especially when he talks about her sacred items. You've got Bringsingen, the legendary necklace of desire, a symbol of her irresistible power. Then there's the falcon cloak, which lets her transform and soar between worlds. And my personal favorite, her chariot, pulled by two enormous cats. I mean, come on, that's the perfect symbol of her unique blend of nobility, wild strength, and fierce independence. So from Freya's incredible complexity, the book takes us to another profoundly misunderstood goddess, Hel. And I mean it, forget everything you think you know about her from movies or comics. Mainland's portrayal of the Queen of Shadows is absolutely captivating. We all know about Valhalla, right? The great hall where warriors go to prepare for Ragnarok. But what Mainland does so brilliantly is contrast this with Helheim. It's not some fiery pit of punishment, it's a quiet, solemn realm of peace. It's the necessary, peaceful destination for everyone who dies a straw death outside of battle. It's a place of rest, not torment. This completely reframes the entire concept of death in these myths. And her appearance is the perfect symbol of this balance. Hel is described as being half radiant and beautiful, and the other half decayed and corpse-like. See, she's not a monster. She literally is the balance. She physically embodies this essential truth that life and death are just two halves of the same whole. You can't have one without the other. It's such a powerful and honestly beautiful concept. So the huge takeaway that Mainland drives home is this idea of death as an essential force of life. Death isn't the enemy to be fought. It's an essential, almost sacred part of the cycle. Hel isn't a villain. She is the guardian of one of life's most profound and necessary transitions. I'm telling you, reading this chapter genuinely changed how I see these myths. And the book just keeps building this incredible tapestry of feminine power with Skadi, the goddess of winter and the hunt. If Freya represents paradox and Hel represents balance, then Skadi, Well, she is the embodiment of fierce, unshakable independence. Her story is just incredible. She marches on Asgard, alone, to demand justice for her father's murder. The gods, impressed by her courage, offer her a deal, including marriage to one of them. But she's a goddess of the icy mountains, and she ends up with Njord, a god of the warm sea. Of course, their worlds clash. They're totally incompatible. And what does Skadi do? She doesn't compromise who she is. She leaves. She chooses her own life, on her own terms, back in her wild, frozen home. What a stunning story of self-determination. So after taking us through these powerful, complex figures, Mainland brings it all home. He asks the big question, why do these ancient goddesses matter to us now? And this, for me, is where the book becomes truly resonant. Well, they are absolutely central to the resurgence of neo-paganism. They've become these incredibly powerful symbols in our books, our art, our media, but more than that, they're icons for empowerment. They challenge this old, tired idea that power has to be masculine. And maybe most importantly, they inspire us, all of us, to look inside and embrace our own complexities, our own paradoxes. They show us that it's okay to be both a lover and a warrior, a creator and a protector. Mainland finishes his introduction with this simple, beautiful, almost haunting line. Their voices are calling. Let us listen. It's not a command. It's an invitation, a call to just tune out all the noise for a second and hear the other half of the story that's been quiet for way too long. And that right there is the real impact of this incredible book. It does so much more than just retell myths. It restores a lost sense of balance. It gives a voice back to the divine feminine that, it turns out, was always there, right at the very heart of the cosmos. Their voices are calling, and the only question left is, are we finally ready to listen?